Most agents who try YouTube, it doesn't work for them. They say it's just another thing to put on their never ending to do list. They try, they make a whole bunch of videos, and they find that it's a complete and utter waste of time. Take this comment that I just got on one of my videos. He said, I just wish that it worked in my market. I posted 2 videos a week for 90 days and I didn't see anything. I hear that all the time. But then I also hear things like this. He said, I bought your book when I started my YouTube channel. I'm at 7,300 subscribers so far, and I closed 32 transactions last year from it. So is it that YouTube doesn't work, or is it that we're just doing it in a way that is more effective? Those of us that are actually getting clients from it, and the ones who aren't getting clients from it, maybe it just takes a couple of tweaks to your strategy. I know that it works because let me show you what my channel looks like. I started getting almost all of my clients from my YouTube channel in about a 6-month period. After I got serious about making videos and I made one video a week, speaking to one person with one problem and trying to be very consistent. I got my first lead after about 90 days, but within 6 months was when I started getting lead after lead after lead after lead, and they were all saying, I found you from your YouTube channel. So this was my channel, and I went to the oldest so that I could show you how awful the original videos were. I was living in the Atlanta suburbs at the time. I lived in Cherokee County. There was no plan. There was no strategy. I didn't know what to talk about. I was just making videos about anything and everything. I was talking about neighborhoods. I was doing tours of the few listings that I have. I was talking to agents about my brokerage and the website that I was using and whether or not you needed to have an IDX feed. I mean, I was talking to everybody about everything. And I didn't get any leads from it while I lived in Atlanta. Then I moved to Savannah. So this one was the virtual tour of my home as I put it on the market. And then I moved to Savannah and I started making videos down there. And that's when I got my first lead. So some of the things that I learned from this were you can't talk to everybody about everything. It is not all things real estate for the entire market area that you service. It is not everything to do with real estate, whether you want to buy, sell, invest, rent in the entire Atlanta metro area. That is not a good strategy. It was not effective. I did finally get one lead from it after I moved to Savannah. And he was watching all of those neighborhood tours because he and his wife were going to move to Atlanta from New York. And they were watching all the neighborhood tours where I was talking about this neighborhood and this neighborhood and this neighborhood. And that's what drew them in, not all of the other random videos that I made. But now I had proof. Now I had proof that this actually worked. So when I got to Savannah, I said, I'm going to make one video a week. I'm going to pick one person with one problem that is the ideal viewer for this channel. Not anybody who wants to buy or sell. It was people in the military who are PCSing to Savannah, and they've always lived on base. They've lived in post housing, base housing, and now they want to buy a home when they get here because I'm telling them how affordable it is, and they could probably afford to do it. So by having a plan, by having a strategy, by having an actual plan for making content for the channel, it replaced every other lead gen strategy that I did. YouTube became my one and only lead gen strategy other than repurposing the video and putting it on my website. I already had a website. I had written a bunch of blog posts about various communities in Savannah. And then I would take the video that I had just uploaded to YouTube. I would put it on my website as though it were a new blog post, and I would embed that video right in the middle of the blog. That was all I did for lead gen. When YouTube started working for me, I didn't have to do anything else. I did not mail farming postcards. I did not buy leads from any of the big portals. I did sign up with UpNest when I first got to town, and I did close a few deals from them, which I was very grateful for because I had no business coming in. But as soon as the YouTube leads started to come in, I canceled. I didn't need to get leads from any companies and pay them a 35% referral fee because I could generate my own leads and I could save all of that money. In fact, I was just talking to an agent earlier today where she said, I get a lot of referrals, but then I have to pay this 35% referral fee for every single one that closes. I would rather just learn how to do it myself. And I said, I know. And she signed up for my program, and I'm going to teach her how to do it because it's so much more exciting when you know how to generate your own leads and convert your own leads into clients and not have to pay a referral fee. And oh, by the way, YouTube is free. We can upload videos to YouTube totally for free. So I made one video a week for years. Let me show you my channel one more time. So I made one video on YouTube per week for years and years and years. And this was when it started. How to buy your first home. Part 2, part 3. I made it a 3-parter because otherwise it would have been a half-hour long video and I didn't think anyone would watch it. So I made it 3 parts. I did talk a little bit about buying a home with your VA loan. I talked about moving to Savannah. I did talk about how to list your home on Zillow and how not to. At the very beginning of my channel, I have to say I did not have the strategy dialed in. I was kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what would stick. But in my head, it was for the people that are PCSing to Hunter Army Airfield. And the more videos I did, the more videos I made, the more leads I got, the more feedback I got from people that were calling me from the videos, I decided I really just need to drill down into having one specific strategy, one specific viewer for this channel. Not someone who wants to buy or sell or invest, not someone who lives here and wants to sell their house and move somewhere else, or they want to move here from Germany. Like, it was not all of those things. It was one of those things. It was the military first-time buyer. And after I drilled down into that strategy and decided to quit futzing around with all of the other types of content, that's when the channel really started to take off. So let's talk about why a lot of real estate agents fail on YouTube. What are they doing that is causing them to get those results? Number one, I would say, is probably not being consistent. Once I said, I'm going to make one video a week, that was the end of it. I put it right on my channel banner, new videos every Monday at 9 a.m. People knew when the video was coming out. And if I was late, they let me know about it. I actually had people text me and say, it's 11 o'clock. Where's your video? And I was like, dude, give me some slack. I'm running behind today. But the fact that they knew to expect the video at 9 a.m. and that I was late, and they already had my contact information so they could follow up with me and say, what's up with the video? Like, at first I was annoyed, like, stop harassing me. I'm working on it. But then I was actually very flattered because that means they were looking forward to the video and they were paying attention. And the fact that it didn't come out on time, they noticed. So at that point, I was like, I can't be late. I need to upload this video the day before and then schedule it to go out at 9 a.m. so that that never happens again. And it never did happen again, except the one time during Hurricane Irma when we had to evacuate and we packed up the car and we boarded up our house and we left town. And I forgot to do anything with that video because I had other things on my mind. That is literally the only time that I ever missed an upload in years and years and years. Being consistent will absolutely help you. Not just because the YouTube algorithm will reward you for being consistent. It will see that you post every single week without fail. You are a creator that it will trust, and then it will promote more because it knows that you're going to show up, that you're not doing this for 2 or 3 weeks and then you'll bail and never come back again. A lot of people do that. They go all in on the YouTube channel. They make 10 or 15 videos and then that's it. They never do it again. And so those videos don't really get promoted. When you show up week after week, after year, the YouTube algorithm takes notice of that, and it definitely will help you. They also don't have any sort of strategy as what is this channel about? You've heard me talk about this so many times. I feel like there's a fly on my face. I just came in from outside. They are talking about whatever they feel like talking about that day. And what I honestly feel like is people are making content for themselves. A new restaurant opened in town and it was amazing. So I'm going to go and interview the restaurant owner and do this local area spotlight. And I'm going to make it because I'm going to do some goodwill for the restaurant owner. And then, people will think that it's interesting. Here's the problem with that. People who are looking for a place to get pasta on Friday night are not automatically looking to sell their house. They are not the same thing. Someone who's hungry wants fish tacos or Mexican food or shrimp and grits. That doesn't mean that they're planning to buy or sell their house anytime soon. So you're really making a video because you want to make the video, because you would be interested and you think it would be fun and that it would be a nice thing to do for business owners in the community. But you're not putting your YouTube hat on and thinking, the person that subscribed to my channel, did they want to see this video? If they don't live here and they're moving to this area, or if they're going to be selling and moving out of state, do they really care about the new restaurant in town? Possibly, but probably not. So you got to be thinking about, what does my viewer want to watch that will make them say, I am ready to pull the trigger and do this thing. I want to call her. I want her to be the agent that represents me in this transaction because I know her, I like her, I trust her. I've watched all her videos. She knows what she's talking about. And I think that I would enjoy working with her. Let's call her right now. If you make videos about anything and everything, that just doesn't happen. You need to have a strategy. You need to figure out who is my ideal viewer and talk only to them and be relentless about it. Next, they make videos without having a clear understanding of what the structure of the video should be. So they will start the video with their logo, their branding info at the beginning, and it's 10 seconds long, 15 seconds long. And then finally, the branding thing ends, and there's the boomer pause or the millennial pause, and then they start to talk. So we're now a good 15, 18 seconds into the video before anything has come out of your mouth. You're going to kill your audience retention with stuff like that. You need to begin the video with something interesting that will hook their attention and make them want to stay all the way to the end. You don't want to be overly self-promotional. You don't want to have a call to action in the first 10 seconds of the video. You don't want to start the video by introducing yourself. You don't want to have your brokerage logo all over the screen and your phone number in a lower third. Like, there are a lot of things that people do that will kill their results, and they don't know that they're doing them. They don't know any better, but they're also not taking the time to study what works on YouTube now. You've got to become a student of the platform and watch other people's videos. And I don't even watch real estate videos. Like 90% of the time, I am not watching channels from other realtors. I am watching other channels about things totally unrelated. And I will watch, what did they say when the video opened? What was on screen? Was it their face or was it B-roll? What are they doing as far as editing these days? Is it a whole lot of editing, or is it like one take with no editing whatsoever? Are they doing lots of transitions? Are they doing lots of titles on the screen? What are they doing right now? And I'm not looking at channels that get 15 views per video. I'm looking at videos that have 100,000 views in the first 3 days. I'm looking at videos that have 1 million views and they're only a month old. Channels that have 100,000, 200, 500,000 subscribers, they are doing it right. Model the people that are doing it right. Don't model it after people where it's not working for them, because then it's just bad following bad. You don't want to model someone because you think that that's what you're supposed to do. But if their video only has 79 views, that's probably not the best video for you to be using as an example. I want you to decide that you're going to be a student of the channel. And there's a super easy way to do that. All you have to do is go to your own YouTube homepage and see what the algorithm is serving to you. Everything that shows up on your homepage, YouTube thinks that you're going to click on it because you have watched videos like this in the past. So they know that I like comedy. They know that I like videos about succeeding on YouTube. They're even showing me my own videos. That's funny. And Lee Brown, who I adore. We are looking at things about health. We are looking at things to help me sleep overnight. We are looking at beauty tutorials and hair tutorials. And everything that's showing up on the homepage, it's because it thinks that I will enjoy it. They do not show the same videos to every single person. They show you videos based on what you have clicked on in the past. So everything that is on your homepage is curated especially for you. If you want to find out what's working on YouTube, create a dummy account. Go into YouTube, create a whole account. It's like a lurker account where you're going to watch videos on YouTube, but you're in this lurker account instead of in your own account. And then just go in and search for a few things. So let's say that your specialty is downsizing sellers in Des Moines, Iowa. Okay, downsizing sellers in Des Moines, Iowa, who are going to sell their house and move to Florida because they don't want to live in the snow anymore. Okay, so that's what my channel is about. That's who it's for. I'm going to go into this lurker account and do some searches on YouTube as though I am the viewer that I want to attract with this channel. So what would I be Googling? I might be saying real estate market in Des Moines. How long will it take to sell my house? Des Moines real estate market. Tips to sell your home faster. I would be searching things like that on both YouTube and Google. But if you're doing it in YouTube, in your pretend account, those things will start to show up on your homepage. If you click on them and you watch them, and then you exit out of it and go back to your homepage, it will refresh with more and more and more videos like that. And if you do this for a while, they're going to start showing you videos that have a very, very high view count. And then your job is to go watch them and see what are they doing right. You don't want to copy them word for word. We don't want to plagiarize them. But what are they doing right, especially if they are not in your area? Like this would be a great thing to do. If I live in Des Moines, I would probably search Houston, Texas. That way, everybody that shows up in my feed, they're not a competitor. And I can absolutely study what they are doing and see if it's working and then use that for my own content. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time. But I have a real problem with the people who just blatantly copy the real estate agents that are in their own market. I think that's pretty terrible. And there are plenty of you guys that do that. So if that's you, please stop. If you want to model people that are in another state, by all means, it's fair game. But if the person is in your own city, you're just blatantly ripping off one of your competitors. I don't know. I know a lot of people in my community who complain that other agents are doing that. And I feel really bad for them because that's not right. You shouldn't be blatantly stealing someone else's content, like word for word. The title is the same, the thumbnail is the same. There's no unique spin on it. You basically just ripped off their video and remade it. And they're in your own market. That's not very cool. Please don't do that. Okay. So what actually works? We need to know who is our one person with one problem. We're going to make videos for that person and only that person. We're going to try to figure out what is working on YouTube and model good results. We're not going to model bad results. We're not going to copy people who are doing stuff that clearly is not working just because we think that's what we're supposed to do. We're going to use really good titles. We're going to use really interesting, clickable thumbnails, and we're going to be consistent. We're not going to say, I will upload one video every 2 or 3 weeks, but there's no real consistency at all. You're going to pick an upload schedule and you're going to make it a priority. You are going to say, I upload every other Thursday at 2 p.m. End of story. If you could do it once a week, amazing. If you could do it twice a week, your results will happen so much faster. So commit to the most that you can possibly commit to, and you will see some amazing results. I've gotten so much business from my YouTube channel. It's kind of ridiculous. When I look back on the number of people in my database and where they came from, Like 90% of them came from the YouTube channel because obviously we track all that stuff so that we know where they came from. So I put together a guide called The First 10 Steps to a Lead Generating YouTube Channel. If you want that, I will gladly share it with you. I'll put the link in the comments down below. Feel free to download that and start doing that, because this is the strategy that took me from those early videos that were not very good to having a strategy where 6 months later, I was getting all of my business from the YouTube channel. And I was able to say, I don't need any leads from you, Upnest, anymore. Thank you very much. You've served your purpose, but you may go now. Like I said, I have a free guide for you called The First 10 Steps to a Lead Generating YouTube Channel. And if you would like to download that, I will put the link right here, because YouTube is truly the best thing that I ever did to grow my business. And I know that it can work for you too.